Hello everyone, it's time for another EU News Update. As usual, regarding any merchandise that I talk about today, there will be links in the description to either buy or pre-order them. And remember, if you buy anything off Amazon, be sure to go to smile.amazon.com to have a portion of what you spend go to the Twin Sons Foundation, a charity dedicated to donating Star Wars books to schools and children's hospitals. Every little bit counts. First, with a heavy heart, I offer my condolences to the family of JW Rinzler, the author and editor of many Star Wars art books, cross-section books, visual dictionaries, behind-the-scenes books, and more. JW Rinzler passed away on July 28, 2021, after dealing with an 11-month bout of pancreatic cancer. He is gone, but not forgotten by his loved ones and thousands of hardcore Star Wars fans. His contributions to the original true continuity of Star Wars will be forever remembered to those of us who want to know every little detail behind the films both in-universe and out-of-universe. If any of his books are currently out of print, I call upon Disney, Lucasfilm, Del Rey, and whoever else, in his memory, please reprint all of his work and make sure his family is well compensated. Rest in peace, JW Rinzler. Speaking of reprints, the original Marvel Years Epic Collection Volume 5 has been released to comic shops on August 4th and on Amazon on August 17th. This volume will contain the original Marvel comic run, issues 74 to 88, the third Star Wars annual, The Apprentice, and the Return of the Jedi comic adaptation. It's taken a few years, but the original Marvel comic run has almost been entirely reprinted in the Epic Collection format. And in other reprint news, you may remember the giant 1,300-page hardcover Knights of the Old Republic comic omnibus that came out last month. I've talked about it in a couple of my past news videos. Well, according to comic book stores that report sales data to Comic Hub across the nation, in terms of not units sold, but dollar amounts, the Coder Omnibus was number 3 in the month of July 2021, only behind a collection of Invincible comics and a collection of Loki comics. Both Invincible and Loki, as you may know, have had their own very popular TV show this past year. And all these numbers don't include online sales either, I believe. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but surprise! More proof that the Star Wars EU/Legends universe is incredibly popular and can make shitloads of money. I mean, like I said, it's only being beaten out by Loki and Invincible, and if you have Disney Plus or Amazon Prime, those are practically household names at this point. The hardcover book looks really nice, but this is a 15-year-old comic run, and it's kicking everyone's ass, including the Disney Canon comics. Where are they on this list? John Jackson Miller has been doing some victory laps on Twitter, and he's definitely earned it. Once again, if you don't own the Coder comics, or even if you do, this collection is probably the best format to collect them in. I highly encourage you to get it. In more Legends comic news, Panini Comics France has announced on Twitter that starting in November, they are going to be publishing Star Wars Legends comics in France, which is just awesome. I, of course, want Star Wars Legends to be published worldwide, so I adore hearing news like this. That being said, I'm an American, I have no idea what French people think about Star Wars, let alone Star Wars Legends, and I have no clue how publishing works there either. So if you're French and you have more information on this, or if I got any details on the story incorrect, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, congratulations Panini Comics, and congratulations France. Speaking of how people view Legends, Dylan on the expandeduniverse.com is back at it again with articles involving charts, graphs, information, and data. That's right, he collected 1,522,923 user star ratings from various book rating websites to get a consensus user star rating for every Star Wars Legends novel in one article, and then in another article he broke down the Star Wars Legends adult novel ratings by publication date. As of this video recording, his most recent article covers the young adult books. It's a fascinating idea, and the results are not at all what you probably expect. I highly recommend you check out these articles. They really give you a good idea of how all these EU books are actually viewed by people, and a better idea about what the preferences of EU fans as a whole actually are. It's really quite interesting. Links to all 3 articles in the description. Speaking of projects that fans have been working on the Echo Base Network YouTube channel, they created an audiobook for Heart of the Jedi. You may remember that back in May, a fan made a physical copy of Heart of the Jedi, a cancelled EU book from the 90s, and put it on Amazon. This caused a stir within the EU community when several fans started buying copies of Heart of the Jedi before Disney could take it down. This ultimately led to Heart of the Jedi becoming an Amazon bestseller and on many occasions outpacing even the new canon books. When Disney finally did pull the book off Amazon, it led to some copies of the book being sold on eBay for hundreds of dollars. And now with a full audiobook, Heart of the Jedi seems to finally be getting the love it deserves. On the subject of merchandise news, the artist Guru Hiru has created this adorable diorama of the Ewoks taking out an AT-ST. This sculpture is available for pre-order now. I appreciate all the little details put into it. Every Ewok is doing something different. The mayhem going on is something that a regular 2D drawing could never replicate. I also dig the chibi art style on the Ewoks, as if Ewoks needed any help being cute. But what does this have to do with the EU? Well, during the research, one of the artists found out about Nisa, who appeared in the animated series Ewoks. She really wanted to include her, so even though this work comprises mostly of the scene from episode 6, there is just a little bit of expanded universe in there too. And in the last bit of expanded universe news, Wave 3 of the Essential Legends collection has been revealed. The Essential Legends collection line has been reprinting Star Wars EU books in the trade paperback format with new covers. They look really nice, and fans seem to have taken a liking to them. Wave 1 has already come out with Heir to the Empire, Darth Bane Path of Destruction, and Shatterpoint. Wave 2 comes out in September with Rule of Two, Dark Force Rising, The Last Command, and Rogue Squadron. Alongside the release, each wave is also going back and giving older EU audiobooks an unabridged version for the first time. Shatterpoint with Wave 1, and Rogue Squadron with Wave 2. Though I still wish the new books had a little more extra content in them. A new short story in each book would go a long way to make the Essential Legends collection the absolute must-own version of these stories, and die-hard collectors the expanded universe would buy each and every one. But I digress. Wave 3 of the Essential Legends collection will be released on April 5th, 2022, and will comprise of Darth Plagueis, Kenobi, Darth Bane Dynasty of Evil, and Wedge's Gamble. All very excellent Legend stories. I look forward to seeing what the new covers look like. Also, if one of these books were going to get an unabridged audiobook for the first time, well, it'll have to be Wedge's Gamble, as the other three are much newer and already have unabridged versions. I hope good sales of these Legends books will once again show Disney that we are dying for new EU content. So that'll cover the EU news this time around, but there are a few more things that I wanted to talk about regarding Disney as a company. So if all you were interested in was EU news, I won't be sad if you duck out now. I've noticed Disney's greed getting worse and worse lately. I know companies have to make money, but there's still some lines that shouldn't be crossed. You may have heard news about Scarlett Johansson filing a lawsuit against Disney. She alleges that releasing Black Widow in theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time goes against her contract. Her salary is based on the box office performance of Black Widow, and if it's also on a streaming service, then Disney is the one mostly profiting from that arrangement, not her. A Disney spokesman said Miss Johansson's suit had no merit and is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The company said it fully complied with Miss Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. So I'm no lawyer. I don't know if Scarlett will win this case, but considering that the spokesman is whining about Scarlett being callous and is disregarding the horrific effects of the pandemic, makes me think that the company is screwing her over and their only defense is calling her a big meanie. I am in full support of Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit, and if this is all sounding pretty familiar to you, it might be because Disney has been trying to screw book authors out of their royalties with the whole #DisneyMustPay movement going on. The lesson I'm taking away from all this is if Disney can screw you out of a paycheck, they absolutely will. In other greedy Disney news, they're going to build a Star Wars hotel. Awesome! Except it'll cost $6,495 for a 2-night stay.
You're fucking high!
Are you out of your mind?
This house is a fucking prison!
On planet bullshit!
In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks!
I am just as big of a Star Wars fan as the next guy, but I will never, ever go to this hotel. Most people probably won't either. I encourage them not to. Unless they're millionaires, people aren't going to blow that amount of money on a single trip, let alone a 2-night stay. They need that money for rent, food, paying for their kids' college. You'd be better off decorating your bedroom to look like a spaceship, or if you want to blow that much money on Star Wars, use it to buy every EU book, comic, and video game. At least that way you'd get more than 2 days of enjoyment out of it. Most people have to save their money these days with everything going on right now. Talk about callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Please. Anyway, thanks for sticking around until the end. Like I said, I know those last 2 stories weren't really talking about the EU, but I had to get it off my chest. And I hope you do the same in the comment section. Tell me what you think, and have a great day.